guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Mommy Monday video. I hope that you are enjoying these mommy videos. I feel like I'm more passionate about mom and baby videos now than I am about beauty videos, which is crazy because like, who am I, right? But being a mom is such a huge part of my life. It's my entire life right now that I just really like making these videos for you guys. So today's video is going to be a reaction to what's in my hospital bag, like what did I actually use. And I feel like these videos are more helpful than the what's in my hospital bag videos because I can tell you like, okay, what did I actually use? Both are equally as fun to watch and I'm as excited to film this as I was to film that, but I think that this will be the most helpful. So let's hop into it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh my goodness, I am so excited to film this video. You guys have no idea. Pretty much the moment I found out I was pregnant, I started immediately Googling and YouTubing what's in my hospital bag videos. Actually, that is how I discovered a lot of my favorite like mommy bloggers or YouTube moms is through their what's in my hospital bag videos. So if you are pregnant and you just kind of like stumbled upon this video, I feel like this is such a good way to discover like mommy bloggers is by searching for what's in my hospital bag because inevitably they more than likely filmed that. My family has a history of delivering early. My sister was born 6 weeks early. I was born 2 or 3 weeks early. Lincoln did not come early, by the way. I ended up being induced at 39 weeks and 5 days. I feel like if I wasn't induced, he would have probably gone past his due date. So, oh, naive Melissa. Keep in mind, I toured our hospital twice. I toured once with my mom and once with my husband. And both times I asked them, what items do you guys provide to mom for postpartum care? And both times I was told nothing. It's interesting because that is true. They did tell me nothing, but I got so much in the hospital. I wonder if I just like didn't word my question appropriately or correctly when I asked the tour ladies, or maybe they just truly didn't know, but I ended up getting so much in the hospital. Nursing nightgown and robe sets that I got from Destination Maternity. So the first one is a motherhood maternity set. It looks like this. And then the second one is a pee in the pod nursing set. So same thing, the fabric's just a little bit more high quality and just a little bit softer. This is the one that I'm planning on using for our first 48 photos. I ended up wearing both of those nightgown and robe sets. I think I need to caveat this with, I talk in this video a ton about taking first 48 photos. That didn't happen. I don't know if every hospital is like this, but, okay, so I probably would have taken my first 48 photos, but my hospital, day 2 was when the photographer came in. And I remember that day, first of all, I was hormonal as heck. Second of all, Matt had left. He went to go home. His parents had drove in that day to visit us and the baby. So he had left to come home so he can like meet them and give them the car and whatever. He wasn't there. And there was like millions, I'm exaggerating, but people were in and out of our hospital room like every 5 or 10 minutes, whether it was lactation or the nurses or the billing people, the hospitality people, the food people, it was like the photographer, housekeeping. It was like so many freaking people in and out and in and out of that room. I got so frustrated. I wanted to put like a do not disturb sign on the door, which I think I ended up doing eventually because I broke down. When the nurse came in, I remember saying like, I want people to stop coming in. Anyways, I didn't have time to get ready. So when the photographer came in, I was like, oh my God, you cannot take pictures of me right now. I'm a hot mess. And she ended up just taking pictures of Lincoln, not me or Matt. So anytime I talk about anything photography related or first 48, that didn't happen. So, but I did end up wearing that gown, just not for pictures. As far as what I'm gonna wear while I'm there, so I'm only planning on being there for 2 days. I think 3 days is if you have a C-section, which I guess you never know. We ended up being there 3 nights, and that's because when I went in to be induced, one of the nights I was laboring. So after Lincoln was born at 2 a.m. So that night, like the night before that, I was laboring, so they don't count that night. The first night, they probably would have let us go home the next day, but I requested, well, I didn't request, the nurse, Lincoln was having some temperature problems. He was running a little bit on the cold side. which wasn't a huge deal, but I was so nervous about everything. Also, I was trying to get the whole breastfeeding thing down, and I liked having lactation at my fingertips. So we chose to stay a second night. So it was still technically only 2 nights, but it seemed a lot longer because I was laboring through one of the nights. So it was 3 nights, you know what I mean? But I'll probably honestly wear those nursing nightgowns most of the time. I did wear the nursing nightgowns the entire time we were there. But I brought some options just in case. So the first option that I'm bringing is pajama pants. So these are just some pajama pants that I fit in now. I ended up not wearing those pajama pants. In fact, like I said, I wore the gowns the entire time we were there. To go home, I ended up wearing the maternity jegging or leggings and a maternity t-shirt. I didn't wear the dress, although the dress in theory was a really good idea. I just ended up not wearing it. So yeah, I wore the maternity leggings and the maternity t-shirt home, and then the gowns when I was in the hospital. I ended up not wearing the underwear at all. I wore like the mesh panties that they give you in the hospital. I did wear the nursing bras, so I'm glad that I brought those. I think I only wore one of them though. In my mind, I was like, I need to bring multiples in case like milk squirts all over them. My milk didn't come in until like the day I came home anyways. So yeah, I didn't wear any of the pajama pants, the underwear. I wear the nursing bras. So I don't think I overpacked clothing very much at all. I think I did a good job with that. I just probably didn't need to bring the pajama pants. Actually, a really big sock wearer, and both of these have the little grippy footies on the bottom. Oh, I did wear the socks too. I wore both pairs of those socks. One of the pairs I wore when I was in labor, and then the other one I wore like the following day. I'm also bringing my own towels. I did not use that towel. I thought I was gonna be like, oh my god, these towels are so gross, the ones in the hospital, but I ended up just using the hospital towels, and I did not get blood on them either. I don't know what, my mind, I was crazy. And I wish I didn't bring that dang towel because it was so big. It took up so much space in my suitcase, and I didn't need to bring it. They were like 10 bucks, and they have the rubber sole on the bottom so I can walk around the hospital in them. And then if they get gross or I don't feel comfortable keeping them afterwards, I can toss them and I won't feel bad about it. And then I'm bringing 2 pairs of flip-flops. I wore the slippers a lot. I wore the plastic flip-flops in the shower. So I ended up, and I explained it in the video, but I packed a pair of regular flip-flops just in case I was wearing like high heels there, like if I was at work and I went into labor. Like I was saying, I ended up being induced, so I was able to plan out what I wore to the hospital. And so I ended up wearing, I think my Lululemon Align pants to the hospital, and then flip-flops. So I ended up not needing the flip-flops that I talk about in this video, but it was a good idea, and they don't take up much room, but I ended up not wearing those flip-flops. You know what I mean? Folder already ready for hospital paperwork. That was a really good idea to bring that folder for the hospital paperwork. I ended up filling that folder so full with everything, and I still have it. I still have all the stuff they gave us in the hospital in that folder, and I referenced that folder a ton when Lincoln was born, so that was a really good idea. That was something like, bring a folder with you, just like a paper folder. I got this off of Amazon. It's a 10-foot charger cable, and then this is a nightlight. I did use the phone charger. It was a good idea to have the long one. I don't think I needed a 10-foot one, but I'm glad I had it. You know, the length was nice to have. I didn't use the nightlight. The hospital ended up having like several different areas in the room where there was different like kinds of lighting and things like that. So there was a dimmer light that was right above my head that I ended up flipping on anytime I had to wake up in the middle of the night to nurse Lincoln. So I didn't need the nightlight, but it was a really good idea in theory, but it was kind of a waste of money because I haven't used it at all since then. I know it takes a while for your milk to come in, but just in case, these were free samples. So I figured I would toss them in my hospital bag. I brought 4 of them, so 2 sets of them, you know, just in case I start leaking or whatever. And then these are the big giant overnight always maxi pads, and then 2 trash bags. So the plastic bag for dirty laundry I used a ton, and I'm so glad I had that. That's just a really good thing to have anytime you travel, is like a plastic garbage bag to put your dirty clothes in. That was really nice to have. All the other postpartum things I didn't use at all. I didn't use the pads, I didn't use the Depends, I didn't use the nursing pads, I didn't use any of that stuff. What was the other thing? Oh, chapstick I used. I used chapstick a ton. I didn't use the earplugs. and I didn't use the nipple cream. Although it's good that I had it because lactation ended up giving me some to use while I was there. They gave me the Medela version, which I ended up liking more than the Lancino version anyways. But if they hadn't given that to me, I would have needed some of it. So I'm glad that I had the little tiny tube of it. As far as like the Depends and the pads and stuff go, I never ended up wearing the Depends at all. I ended up just wearing big overnight, like Always maxi pads. But they are a good idea in theory, and I'll keep them in case next time I need them. And then the nursing pads, I guess it was a good idea in theory to bring those, but I didn't, like I said, my milk didn't come in until I got home. I'm also bringing my own pillow. I did use my own pillow. I'm glad I had my own pillow. And then I'm also bringing my Breast Friend nursing pillow. I used the Breast Friend nursing pillow every single time I fed Lincoln. Actually, for the first long while, every single time I nursed Lincoln, I used the Breast Friend pillow, so I'm really glad I had that. I think they sell them in the hospital gift shop, at least at my hospital. But I am glad I had that and I brought that. And then as far as toiletries go, so I have my toiletry bag there. And then in the front of this, I also have another pair of earplugs and some hair ties, extra hair ties and bobby pins. I tried to be very minimalistic. This might not look minimalistic to everybody. Okay, just looking at this screen without listening to myself talk about everything, I used the deodorant a ton. I used the lotion, I used the shower gel, I used the makeup wipes, I used the Q-tips, I used the face moisturizer, I used the eye cream, the lip balm. I didn't use the shampoo and conditioner because I didn't wash my hair. I used everything. I used the dry shampoo. I didn't use the curling iron because we already talked about that. I didn't use the toothbrush or no, I did use the toothbrush and the toothpaste. I didn't use the hairspray though. So I used pretty much everything in my toiletry bag. I didn't use the floss. As far as makeup goes, this is what I'm bringing. So again, I tried to be very minimalistic. I didn't use any of my makeup. I didn't put makeup on at all when I was there. I thought I would. I didn't use any of my makeup. It was a good idea to have it, and I think if I had had more time to get ready and I would have put the do not disturb sign up, and if I had taken photos, definitely I would have used some of it, but I ended up not using any of the makeup. All right, I'm so out of breath, you guys. This is crazy. The last thing I want to share with you guys is what I'm bringing for baby. So as far as the diaper bag stuff that I brought, like I said, the hospital gave us everything that we needed. I ended up not putting him in clothing that I brought until we took him home. So the entire time we were there, he continued to wear just like the little shirt they gave us in the hospital. So they gave us like a little tiny white shirt, and that's what he wore while we were in the hospital, that and a diaper and a swaddle. I didn't end up using these swaddles to swaddle him in. After this video, I ended up watching more of like what's in my hospital bag videos because I'm insane. And a lot of people recommended bringing like these structured swaddles, like not the blanket swaddles, so the kind like the Halo Sleep Sacks or the Swaddle Me swaddles. So I ended up bringing the Swaddle Me pod swaddles. I threw 2 of them, or maybe I just threw 1 of them in our diaper bag to bring with us, and that was the best decision I ever made. We used that swaddle so much, and I'm so glad that I ended up throwing that in very last minute. So we definitely used that. I did use these swaddles to take his first 48 photos because he ended up taking first 48 photos. As far as, like I said, actual outfits, sleepers, he ended up only being dressed in those once when we were driving home. But I am kind of glad I had options for that. We didn't use the mitts, we didn't use the socks, we didn't need the diapers or the wipes. The hospital gave us all of that. The hospital does give you beanies and hats and things like that, but which he wore the hospital one for a couple of days, and then I ended up putting him in the copper pearl ones, and those are what stayed on his head for the first like 10 weeks of his life. So love the copper pearl hats a ton. And I'm glad I brought those, the ones that I did bring. So overall, I think I did a pretty good job of using almost everything in my bag. I think my biggest regrets for things that I brought and didn't need was the towel. I didn't need the towel. I should have known. That was such a bougie thing to bring, but I brought it anyways. So I definitely didn't need the towel. I didn't need the nightlight. I thought it was a good idea in theory, but I didn't use the nightlight. Any of my postpartum items I didn't necessarily need. I brought them thinking I wasn't going to be provided those in the hospital, and my hospital ended up giving me everything I needed postpartum. They gave me Dermoplast spray, they gave me witch hazel pads, the Tux witch hazel pads, they gave me a sitz bath, they gave me pads, they gave me panties, they gave me everything I needed postpartum, but I didn't know that that was gonna happen. So now I know if we go back to the same hospital that I will be provided all of those things. I don't wanna say I regret bringing those, but I didn't need any of that stuff. And I also think, what was the other thing? Oh, the makeup. I think I'm just going to go in next time I have a baby, if I'm so blessed to have a second baby, knowing that I'm not going to take professional photos in the hospital. I feel like Instagram glorifies the first 48 after you have a baby, the first 48 hours, and makes you think it's going to be this like magical postpartum, like you're going to get beautiful and take these these pictures and look. It's not like that. It wasn't like that for me at all. I was bloated and swollen, and I didn't put makeup on the whole time, and I was hormonal, and I was crying, and I wasn't in the right state of mind to take pictures. So I think I'm just going to go in next time knowing I'm not going to take pictures. The baby will take pictures. I will not take pictures. So I probably won't bring makeup next time. I think that's it. I think the top things you definitely need, for me at least, deodorant, wet wipes, chapstick, slippers. Those were good too. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you guys have any like must-have thing, oh, and the folder to put paperwork in, that was a really good idea too. If you guys have any must-have items, link them down below or list them down below in the comment section so that people watching this could know like what are things that you definitely needed. There wasn't anything that I thought like, oh my god, I wish I had in my postpartum period. During labor, I talk about this in my labor video, but I wish I had a fan, an electric fan, because I got so hot during labor and my husband ended up having to like fan me with a piece of paper. It would have just been easier for him if I had like an electric little handheld fan, but that is the only thing I wish I had brought but didn't bring. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I'll talk to you next time.